This AFC East Predictions edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WinBet. WinBet is now live in Colorado, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted parlays to in-game odds on every major sport, WinBet has what you need to win. Sign up today to receive a $500 risk-free sports bet. Download the WinBet app now or visit wynnbet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by PropSwap, America's #1 app to buy and sell sports bets. Use promo code SGP on your first deposit and receive up to $500 in bonus cash. That's PropSwap.com, promo code SGP. We're also brought to you by PicksWise. PicksWise is the #1 home of free sports betting picks. Visit PicksWise.com to make your next bet better. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with promo code SGPN and receive a free $25 entry to use in Best Ball Mania 2 for a chance to win $1 million. And of course, don't forget to download the SGPN app. SGPN is giving you a chance to win $100,000 NFL Week 1 exclusively on the SGPN app. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking that money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer Dog?
No, this is the fun division, Sean. This is the well, I mean, it's the dysfunctional one. A, B, we have a lot of fans in the great state.
A baby fucking wheel, man.
I wasn't even going to lead with that one. In the great state of New York, upstate, Bills Mafia. And then we have, of course, the what would you call it? The pinky up part of this great country, the Northeast, the Boston Fighting Baby Whale. I'm wearing the Baby Whales shirt, Sean.
I like that. In honor of the New England Patriots era, we will be joined by the Baby Whale himself, Boston Capper, towards the end of the show to talk Patriots. But we got Bills, Dolphins, Jets, win totals, player props, futures, a little bit of everything. Man, these division previews are awesome because you know what it means, Ryan. It means football is here, right around the corner. And oh man, listen to that trumpet blast.
You like it when the trumpet blasts?
Oh yeah, it's just telling you football. I'll save my official football song for the NFL Week 1.
I was
Ryan,
gonna say.
don't want to blow my blow my singing voice now. WinBet. That is the place where you want to get down for all your betting needs. If you can't make it to the Win Las Vegas Week 1, we'll be hanging out there, getting in on some bets. You can experience the Win at home, courtesy of your own home. All you got to do is go to wynnbet.com or download the Win Betting app. In-game wagering, parlays, boosted. They really got you covered for any sport, major or minor, player props. Oh, it is just, it's easy to use, even easier to win, especially when they throw in the $500 risk-free bet. WYNNBET. If you're looking to WINBIG.
Okay, Sean.
Lots of opportunities for cash between that nice little bonus from WinBet and the $100,000 attempted giveaway. We're trying.
Okay.
We need you guys to pick some winners. But again, download the SGPN app so you don't miss when the lines go live.
Yeah, and I actually get something off my chest real quick. I've had 3 people now. Really? You want to give away $100,000? Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, why not?
I would love to. That seems like a stupid business plan. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were in the content machine business.
Who said this was a good business idea? This is about getting the listeners paid, Ryan.
I say that to say this.
Okay.
Has there been an organization that's given out more cold hard cash over the years?
No.
Like the kind of cash that just slides into your DMs, cold, spendable cash. I just
hear that.
We're doing it again.
Rocky Mountain ice cold cash.
And I got to be honest, Sean, based on the way the trends of the Sports Gambling Podcast have gone in the year 2021, the chance of someone winning this money is way up, because you know what? Someone might say, hey, a 10-teamer, all first half unders in March Madness.
Impossible.
Get the hell out of here. They might say a 10-teamer unders in the first week of preseason football. Get out of here. It's a long shot. Well, sir, this is the home of long shots. So we got a couple to talk about later in this division.
Oh, nice.
See what I did there?
I like it. Teasing them. Yeah, my prop bets. There's some that are a little longer than others.
Really?
I got a couple even monies.
Okay.
Couple longer ones. The last division preview we did, I had some massive. The AFC South, I had some massive dogs.
I'm tabulating in my head, but I believe this is number 7. And let's get it started.
Let's go.
Buffalo Bills.
Bills Mafia.
Just in a tornado of football data right now. Bills 13-3 last year, of course. Almost got there, not quite. Got stomped down by the Chiefs. They went over their win total of 9. This year, Sean, they're stepping up to the big boy plate. 11 is the total, minus 110 each way. Minus 150 to win the division, 5-1 for the conference, 10-1 the Super Bowl. Make the playoffs is minus 350. Missed plus 270.
Wait, Ryan, is there something wrong with my headphones? I thought you said minus 150 to win the division.
Minus 150.
And this is based off, I guess they think Miami might be good or the Patriots might be good.
I'm gonna say
these division prices are insane.
It's the Patriots, right? I mean, we're being a little chalky here, so I'm sure that the alarm bells are going off in your head. It seems too easy. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, what is the?
I guess we would be betting on the Bills to win the division back to back, and that doesn't feel like very Bills like. But unlike the Browns, who that to me their season seemed a bit more outliery. You could make a case.
Is that a word? Outliery?
Yeah. You could make a case that the Bills should have won more games. I mean, they lost on that Hail Mary.
Yeah.
They lost. I mean, they had a little dip when Josh Allen got his shoulder banged up. Other than that, they were just a dominant force.
Well, and beyond
super
that,
efficient.
Yeah, they're doing it the way that the nerds have been saying you're supposed to do.
All the research and nerds are just like, 8.1 yards per attempt passing on first down.
They're so efficient.
Which is hilarious because the nerds were the one crushing Josh Allen, saying, "Oh, this guy, he's horrible. He can't throw an accurate ball." I told you last year they're bringing in Stephon Diggs, best guy at catching deep balls. That's what he needed help with. Boom, bang! You get Josh Allen, QB number 1. You cash a bunch of money.
Yeah,
and their regression factors 3-1 in 3-point games, 5-1 in 1-score games, +4 turnover margin. But I'll say this.
Say it.
So maybe some slight regression factors, but one of the reasons I love this Bills team, at least in the Sean McDermott era, they're straight dog when it comes to covering spreads. 57.6 against the spread in the Sean McDermott era. That's overall, and there's been 3 of those 4 seasons where they've covered 60% or more. Ryan, you got your Bible out in front of you. I think Bills finished number 1, ending the season number 1 in DVOA. That was huge. And the guy who's kind of masterminding this efficient offense, Brian Dable, there was rumors about him leaving, finding a head coaching job. He's coming back.
Huge.
And I liked what they did in the draft. I think Rousseau is going to help them out with the pass rush.
That's the big question, right? Can they get a pass rush? Because they couldn't really do that. They weren't really a running team, which again, the nerds are like, well, you don't need to be because passing's more efficient than. I do think at some point it might hurt them, but you look at the schedule and the strength of schedule is not scary. I think outsiders have them 29th in difficulty. So the regression case is about the big jump. The plexiglass principle, and most importantly, the Josh Allen jump. The biggest jump that that's ever been measured in DR. From year 2 to year 3.
What's DR?
It's essentially like a fancier way of overall measurement of a quarterback's value. I'd say it's along the same. It's like it would be the companion to DVOA.
All right,
tell us part of the story. Anyway, the point being is you don't often have that massive jump year 2 to year 3. So the fact that Josh Allen has taken this big jump, you have to ask yourself, is it explainable or is this something that's going to boomerang back? And I think if you watch the way the dude plays, he still freaks you out a little bit when he runs the ball and he's loosey goosey with the ball in the hand. But
take some shots. Maybe you shouldn't.
And you probably wonder, hey, he was really bad under pressure 2 years ago, and then last year was really good under pressure. Is that just something that's going to bow back and forth? But to me, I watched him play, and you nailed the Stephon Diggs thing in terms of like getting him receivers that match his game. Yeah. I also think he just got a little bit more accurate, and I don't think
confident.
I don't think accuracy is something that tends to spike for a year and then it just dips back, unless he was like, you know, maybe he had a sexual thing going on that was keeping him loose, and that's no longer happening.
All of a sudden, it's off the board.
I don't have that kind of information, Sean. But I will say, like, if there's too many reasons to look at the division and say, well, you know, I understand why this team should regress, but I also see a team that's like pushing the limit. They have the pedal down. They understand like their situation, and they're trying to maximize. And so if the pass rush hits, like this is one of these, they're already going to be a really good team unless Josh Allen gets hurt, which not many guys I'd rather start a franchise with right now.
I mean, he got that shoulder injury, but he still played through it and played at a pretty decent level.
If the new folks hit, specifically if the pass rush hits and this defense regresses back towards the positive side, I'm just going to do it all. People love it when I talk about regression.
Positive regression.
I think the offense could be not quite as great as they were last year, and the defense improvement keeps them right where they are. And when you look around the division, it's hard to want to not take them to win the division.
Yeah,
fans back in
fans
Buffalo.
back is huge, and I do think you want to talk about pass rush and. The pass numbers in general in the NFL were super high because road teams were able to pass at a greater efficiency than normal because they weren't dealing with crowd noise. It's just that simple. So maybe some of the Bills' road success passing will decline a little bit, but I think they'll get that back on the defensive side, and even more so. Again, they're an AFC team. They do have 9 home games, so that's huge for a team that I grade a pretty nice home field advantage between the weather and the Maniac fans. The Maniac fan base that didn't get a full stadium to see this team and cheer them on en route to getting to the AFC Championship. So I think the crowd is really going to benefit a team like the Buffalo Bills, and it's just tough to find a ton of holes in this team. The running backs are a glaring weakness, but again, I don't think they really need them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like a Madden team. You have a running back that you can slam with, and you have a running back that's got a little wiggle on the outside. Plus, you have Josh Allen, and the DVOA you were referencing that they finished number 1 at is the weighted DVOA, which implies that they were playing their best ball towards the end of the season. So, shall we?
Let's go.
Shall we look at the schedule, Sean?
Let's talk Bill's schedule.
Buffalo starts at Pittsburgh, at home against Pittsburgh, which that 7-point spread is a little bit nervous with that one. At Miami, Washington at home, Houston at home. Couldn't ask for a better couple games there. Do they win the home games? Is that just you just pencil them in here?
3-1.
3-1. They lose the obvious letdown spot in Miami there.
Miami's always, or Florida in general, is a tough place to play in September, second week. But again, they do have a full preseason. Maybe the conditioning will be a little bit better. But again, they're going to be maybe not the Miami game, but they're favored in these other ones. I think 3-1 is worst case scenario. They could be 4-0.
Are you standing on it?
I'm going to go 3-1.
Okay, 3-1. I'll go 3-1 as well. Next up at Kansas City, Sunday Night Football, big time matchup at Tennessee on Monday Night Football into the bye week. They come out Miami at home at Jacksonville. If you've listened to the AFC South preview, you know how we feel about Jacksonville. I think they get the win back against Miami. I don't worry. Like to me, Tennessee Buffalo is a super exciting game to watch. I think Buffalo gets this win.
I think they win
dub?
one of the games between Chiefs and Titans, and then they should be good against Dolphins and Jags. So yeah, it feels like a 3-1 there.
We just love the Bills.
No, well, I mean, I read the against the spread number for Sean McDermott and the Bills, so we're crazy not to like the Bills. That's what I would say.
This team is just on the path. At Jets, Indy at home, at New Orleans on Christmas, New England at home on Monday night. I mean, 2 road games. I like, how is New Orleans going to keep up scoring with this Buffalo team unless something's happened? I'm going to go. Maybe they drop a game in here somewhere. You know what? 4-0.
Yeah. 4-0. Let's go Buffalo.
At Tampa, Carolina at home, at New England, Atlanta at home. I think they drop both the road games there. We'll say they slow down a little bit, 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2 is fair.
Are we? Well, let me just confirm that I want it. Yeah, 2-2. I think they lose to New England. New England's scrapping at that point. Bonus game: Jets at home. That's a win.
Assuming they need it.
Well, let's see. Yeah, they're gonna need it. Let's.
I got them winning.
All right, so we got the same record.
12-5. Right?
No.
13-4.
13-4.
I mean. As you know, as crazy high as predicting the team to go 13-4 sounds. I mean, they were 13-3 last year. One of those losses, again, like I said, came on a Hail Mary. They regress a little bit by getting one extra loss. They do have that extra home game.
You don't have to sell me.
And for the futures, I still can't believe them to win the division at -150. And I would just play that almost instead of the over, because maybe they win the division at 11-6. Maybe they win the division at 10-7. Maybe they win it at 12-5. I guess you would hit both there, but I like both. It's hard not to be high on them. And even, yeah, I mean, Super Bowl at 10-1, conference 5-1. I don't like any of those. I mean, I like them to make a run. But I at 10-1 or 5-1, there's just too much shit that can happen.
I feel like there's too many people betting into the market that don't actually watch football or something.
What's going on here, Ryan? I don't know what's happening. I will say this as a podcast, we are on the Russell Wilson MVP, but I think my AFC guy.
What's that price?
Give me Josh Allen 12-1. That is my prop bet for the Buffalo Bills.
Say that again.
Plus 1,200.
Yeah,
that feels pretty good. That's enough value.
It's in the range where you can. It's not. You're not worried. You're not worried. All right, Sean.
Yes.
Can I give out a prop? Because
sure, give out a prop
before you do that, because it's also Josh Allen-y.
Ooh, I like it.
I'm gonna go, and again, I find myself with these overs. It's not me. It's just the number. But Josh Allen's going to average over 267 yards a game. I mean, in the air.
Brian Daboll came out and just said, we're going to throw the ball a bunch again this year. So
that's my point.
Listen to the guy.
That's all he needs to do. He does that. He's over. His yardage total for the year, 45.50.5.
Yeah. I mean, you see the yardage totals that these guys put up these days, and it's crazy to take unders on some of these passing yards, except Tua, and we can get to that one in just a second. Ryan, Prop Swap, America's #1 app to buy and sell sports bets. Perfect example. We were just talking about the Bills, and of course, Bills last year 35-1 to win the Super Bowl, and someone who had $100 on them to win the Super Bowl after they got to the AFC Championship game sold the ticket for $900. That's an 800% return for the seller on a ticket that ended up losing. And to the other point, I think selling that ticket for that price was actually probably a good deal for the person buying the ticket as well, because you got better odds. So again, it's a lot like the stock market. Buy low, sell high. Average sellers on PropSwap make $500 a month. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Get started today by going to PropSwap.com or download the PropSwap app. PropSwap, it's where America buys and sells sports bets. Oh man, my favorite, Ryan, the Miami Dolphins. Let's go.
Oh man, It's funny because as I was going through this one, I'm like, I should probably try to be positive. I know Sean's gonna
balance it out,
shit all over him. 10-6 last year, going over their total of 6.5. I believe I told you that if you took the over on the Dolphins and the Jets, that one of them would cash for you.
It's a bold prediction.
I was wrong on one of them though. Look, the Dolphins had Brian Flores year 2. We're seeing the new wave of the Bill Belichick disciple, successful building culture, acquiring draft picks. Looks a lot like what Joe Judge is doing in New York there. This year, 9.5 over 105, under -125, 350 to win the division, 18-1 to win the conference, 35-1 to win the Super Bowl. No idea who's betting those futures. Playoffs, yes, +110, no, -140. That's more reasonable. The conference and Super Bowl futures and division futures to me are crazy. This team, they brought in talent, right? The angle being, hey, Tua needs weapons around him. I saw this really interesting nugget, Sean. Tua had the 5th most catchable ball. Listen to this. 5th most catchable ball in the league, but his balls were 7th worst as far as being on target. Exactly.
What does that mean?
It means his receivers weren't good enough. He was putting it in the vicinity, but they weren't able to make the catches. I don't know. To me, it sounds like he's got some accuracy issues, which you can explain. Look at him in college. He was surrounded by 1st-round talent. So maybe he needed more talented guys. They brought in Will Fuller. They brought in Jaylen Waddle. That could answer that question if he was coming off the hip thing. I do want to see more time from him, but another team, we talked about the bounce back and the plexiglass. The Dolphins are another team, big jump forward, right? They were what 5-11 the year before, 10-6.
Yeah.
So interesting to kind of they kind of fit the profile to me of a team that's more likely to bounce back. I saw some interesting nuggets around the fact that generally when a team takes that massive jump forward, the only the profile of the team that sustains it is carried by their offense, not their defense. Dolphins, of course, more of that defensive unit. We know offense tends to be a little bit more consistent year to year, defense not so much. And I think to me, what scares me away from the bull case on the Dolphins is we don't have Fitzmagic anymore to come in and clean things up when Tua's not feeling good that day. And
nice Tua dick, Ryan.
Well, hopefully he didn't give it to Jalen Hurts too. He had those stomach issues before the game after he's doing those TikTok dances. But so to me, the problem is there's too many bottoming out or crater cases where Tua isn't the guy that lead me worried about having to go over a 9.5, a number that's quite high.
I like everything.
Feels like, sorry, the last thing I'll say, feels like the ceiling case gets them over that number because I think we can. Yeah, I see I think the offensive and defensive regression will kind of match each other, and I think this team maybe they finish 10-6 again. I think I'd be more surprised if they did though.
Well, that would be tough, Ryan, considering there's 17 games. They were 11-5 against the spread last year, so I like kind of betting on them, except when Tua was in there, and even early on before we kind of saw Tua got exposed. The excuses people love to make for Tua, I can't wrap my head around. That he didn't know the playbook. You're supposed to know the playbook. That's what you do as a quarterback. The hip injury, fine, that's one thing. But then why were they putting him out there when Fitzmagic was playing well if the hip was so bad
with a limited playbook?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. And I think they did a bad job managing it, and then probably hurt the kid's confidence by keeping Fitzpatrick around and keep swapping him out. They should have just redshirted him the entire year. They would have been in the playoffs. Of course, Fitzpatrick got that late case of COVID, or I think maybe they would have had a shot against the Bills, who were resting their starters. Again, another reason why
lost Buffalo, the backups.
Yeah, they lost to the Bills backups. Here's what I don't get: if it really was the pass catchers issue, why did Ryan Fitzpatrick throw for 7.8 yards per attempt and Tua threw 6.3?
Well, the answer to that question is because the playbook was limited, because Tua didn't know the playbook.
Yeah.
Now, I think
so, but I can't argue for a guy when one of the points is he didn't know the playbook.
Well, and you can't argue. You can't at all project that he's just gonna like become a guy who's gonna throw it down the field because he now knows the playbook. Like when you watch him play, he is tentative. He does seem to process slowly.
Yeah.
And while he was his calling card in college was serious arm talent, deep ball accuracy, all that. And he hasn't shown any of that. So maybe we'll be wrong. And then the addition of Jaylen Waddle and Will Fuller, guys that can take the top off the defense, are going to help him out. To me, his best friend's a guy like Devontae Parker, big catch radius, can kind of win contested catch balls. Unless I'm shocked. Now I said I want to see more from him, but unless I'm shocked, I don't think Tua is going to be the guy that we thought the Dolphins were going to tank for originally.
Yeah, I still don't understand the Waddle pick. I mean, I like Jaylen Waddle as a prospect, but to give up a first rounder to get this skill position guy, it just seems like I would have rather seen them add to some of their strengths, or just go all out on the defense. I don't think the Dolphins were like one receiver away, and giving up a first round pick just to get Waddle over Devonta Smith. I don't know, that doesn't really make sense to me in the long run. And you look at some of the regression stuff, +9 in turnover margin, which is pretty high to begin with, but you factor in Miami's defense forced the most turnovers in the NFL. And actually their defense probably wasn't as good as it seemed, because they were actually 24th in yards per play. So they were really carried by getting those turnovers. It's going to be hard to lead the league in turnovers again next year. So maybe the offense does get a little bit better. Tua learns a little bit more of the playbook, but as much as I like the talent on defense and I like Brian Flores, it's just, I don't think we realized what an outlier that season was for the Dolphins at the time, but I think it's just going to be tough to get to that same level.
Well, I got to ask the question. I'm sure everyone's wanting to know, like, is Jacoby Brissett capable of taking this team to 10
Well,
wins?
and I'm going to go on a bold prediction. I think Deshaun Watson ends up in Miami, and they are quietly one of the teams keeping an eye on the Deshaun Watson. And
remind me, is that where the Days of Orchid day spot, or the Robert Kraft massage parlor?
It's right down Miami? In there. It's right down in Miami, Florida.
Well, that's a selling point for
Florida
Watson.
In general is very open-minded.
They're loose.
Know when to come.
They have those pain management clinics. I think that's just a code word for hand jobs.
But if you're Deshaun Watson, Ryan, and he has a no trade clause, so he does have say in where he ends up, where would you rather go to kind of move past this incident? Now, his guilt, his innocence, whatever, that aside, I'm assuming he's looking to put it behind him.
Yeah.
What's going to be a higher profile landing spot? Philadelphia or Miami? Which one is more likely to move on?
Well, Philly's the one that you want to go to, because the Philly fans are on board immediately. Like, they'll make you feel at home. They'll
no, I think there's. I mean,
you don't think that the second he steps on the field and he's slinging that rock around, that Eagles fans have a problem with anything?
He's really good, but I think if you're looking to have your legal issues, the accusations brought up every week, going to a major media market, that is what's gonna.
So you're saying go to
they're getting the microscope out.
Go to Miami because people don't care as much about the Dolphins.
Exactly. Okay. It's just not as diehard of. There's like 30 beat reporters in Philly. There's not 30 beat reporters covering the Dolphins, and there are some diehard fans. I know, because they blow up my mentions on Twitter every time I shit on Tua, or every time Tua is good, I hear from them. So trust me, I will be monitoring the Tua situation. But if you're Miami, man, this team with Deshaun Watson, legit Super Bowl contender, and I'm not kidding.
Being a dick.
I think Jaylen Waddle again. Jaylen Waddle could be really good. It's just like he's going to be fighting for targets on that offense. You bring in Will Fuller. You already have some decent pass catchers. I just don't know if that's what I would have done and give up a first round pick.
I wouldn't mean to it. I don't disagree, Sean.
Thank you.
Miami.
Hot take.
Miami starts the schedule.
Well, and I do have one scheduled note. So they do have a favorable schedule. I think that actually is one of the things that really benefits them. They have the longest stretch of days with just one road game, starting November 1st to December 26th. They only have one road game. That's kind of crazy.
That is pretty wild. All right. At New England, week 1. Buffalo at home, week 2. At Las Vegas, the Death Star, Sean, week 3. Indy at home, week 4.
I told you this Patriots Dolphins game is going to be the. I hope Mac Jones gets in sooner rather than later, because then I'll have a clear handle on Pat's Dolphins. Because choosing Cam Newton versus choosing Tua, what's a guy supposed to do here, picks wise?
Oh, I like Cam in that spot. If that's the case, at home against Tua, I can't take Tua against Belichick. That's just a bad. I mean,
Tua on the road is not something I'm looking to get down with. 2-2, I think. Yeah, I think they can mess up these road. You're going to
find that the schedule is not super tough. At Tampa, at Jacksonville, aka London, Atlanta at home.
See, now that's a sneaky screw job actually schedule wise, because at Jaguars that's a layup road game for the Dolphins, but now you actually got to fly out to Jacksonville. That's a pain in the ass.
And they opted out of the bye week after they if you notice that they don't have a bye week after their London game like the Jag. Yeah, so I
didn't know that was an option.
Apparently, you're allowed to opt in if you want to keep playing. And honestly,
it's a real fuck you to the Jags.
Well, I wouldn't want the early bye week, so I think that's a smart move. No,
yeah. I mean, I guess you're coming back at home against the Falcons, but
this is a tough stretch. But I do think, I think they can get 2 of these games.
Man.
I think it's a 1.5, but I'll take I'll see if I can be bullish and see where we get. So I'll go 2.
I mean, you have at Bucks and at Bills. That's 2 road games.
Those are probably losses
from 2 of the teams that were in the championship games, and then you have a home game against the Falcons, which I'm not super high on.
Yeah, long
but that's
grass.
At Jacks. I mean, we've never seen a team not have a bye week after the London game. Have we?
We have. It happened. I think it happened whenever 2 years ago.
All right,
we have to do some digging.
I'm going to go 1-3 because I hate Tua.
I mean, they're on the East Coast, Sean. It's like flying to the East Coast. Like you can play a football game a week later.
Oh, I can. But can some of these guys on the Dolphins roster?
I don't know if they're full blown alphas. What, are you going 2-2?
I'm going 1-3.
1-3. All right. Next up, Houston at home, Baltimore at home on Thursday night.
That's a good spot for them.
The Jets, Carolina at home. I mean, again, it's hard to. I mean, 2-2 feels like the floor here.
Yeah, see, 2-2 to me feels like the ceiling, but I'll go 2-2. Right, you have to hate some teams.
The floor is the ceiling.
But I don't hate the Dolphins.
Projections find that most teams win between 6 and 11 games.
We were all over the Dolphins last year until Tua came in and kind of we saw what
Giants at home, bye week 14. Jets at home, at New Orleans on Monday Night Football, at Tennessee.
See, that's where that crowd noise is going to come into play at New Orleans. Titans, man, that game might actually be cold. January 2nd. I'm going to go 2-2 because I mean those home games are layups, but the road games, those are tough. I mean, New Orleans Saints at home on a Monday night. I think that's a tough spot.
I don't think New Orleans is very good though. I'll say 2-2. And then Patriots, last week of the season, game will probably matter. Boy, is it a hot take to have them go 8-9? Do they lose? They beat the Patriots, come down to Miami and lose, right?
Patriots always have trouble in Miami.
Late in the season, they're going to be used to the cold. Yeah, the Dolphins get the win.
I'll give them a win.
All right, Sean. I got them 9-8.
Yeah, and you're Mr. Tua over there.
I'm not Mr. Tua.
Oh, his hip hurt.
No, I just said I need to see more. Stop trying to bully me. You're 8-9.
8-9. All right, and I'm a bit of a hater, so maybe that's a reason for optimism on the over at +105. I'll tell you what I like futures wise. No playoffs at -140. They were 10-6 last year. Didn't get in.
Man, yeah, I'll join you on that play because I think I'm a little higher on the Patriots, and so I think if it comes down to but then we just had them lose to the Patriots at home.
Although actually, you know what? Maybe I'll stay away from no playoffs because if they go 9-8, you're still getting that under. You're getting it at -125.
Yeah,
9-8
under.
9-8, you could get in. So I'll go. I'll just stick with the under.
I think you throw everything else out, and I actually think part of the reason this team doesn't meet their potential is Jaylen Waddle is not what we think he is. I'm gonna go under.
Well, and again, Waddle could be good, but like he's dealing with an ankle thing, limited some of his offseason stuff. But I just think it's going to be tough to get up to speed in that offense.
Under 5 receiving touchdowns.
Oh, that's your. And again, it's less hating on Waddle, but just more. How is he going to target competition in this receiver setup is real.
I can visualize the Will Fuller passes.
Yeah.
I can visualize the Devontae Parker
Mike
stuff.
Gesicki, he's involved.
Again, I think kind of people got out on Mike Gesicki and they should really get back in on him. And then whatever they're doing in the running back situation with maybe
fantasy wise running back, what are you doing? Are you touching any of these Dolphins running back?
I don't think you can at this point. You
Gaskin seems like a stay away.
I mean, at the draft, ADP, you got to stay away. Maybe you take a stat at like Ahmed or someone late or like, I think
you'd take Ahmed if you need it. My prop bet is obviously going to be Tua over 10.5 interceptions.
Oh, you think he has enough leash with Brissett there?
That's also true. I mean, it's weird because they
have a short yardage quarterback now, Sean.
I just, again, maybe they expand the playbook. That causes some problems for Tua. Again, just kind of my haterade on Tua.
It is funny to hear people say now he knows the playbook. What, really? How do you know that? How do you know he now knows the playbook?
Also,
he was so willing to admit that he didn't know the playbook. What?
Admitting to not knowing the playbook is almost as bad as not knowing the playbook. If I was on a football team and I was the quarterback, you're supposed to be the leader. Would you ever admit that you didn't know the playbook, Ryan?
No.
Even if you didn't know the playbook, I would blame injuries above my laziness.
Let's role play. Okay. So I come back from having a nice night with a lady and Sean goes, "Oh, how'd it go?" And then I go, "Oh yeah, I didn't really know how to use my dick." No, I would make something up. Anything was better than the story you told. All right.
That is not a great story to tell at all.
Never tell someone your dick doesn't unless it's get Roman.
Yeah. Then you're seeing a medical professional. Picks wise. Ooh, you want to pick a little wiser? You want free picks, right? That's why you're listening to this podcast. You can never have enough free picks, and Pickswise is home to free sports betting picks, props, and parlays, held by a team of trend watching, data devoured sports fanatics, giving you the who, how, and why behind every prediction. Listen, you like gambling? They like picking. It's a match made in heaven. Every game, every day, every sport, all for free. Again, if it's free, it's for me. You can never have too much data, too many picks, Ryan, at your disposal while you're making your ultimate decision. Check out Pickswise.com. It's completely free, and you're going to make your next bet better. Pickswise backs responsible gambling. If you or someone you know wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Kramer, we've been giving out some prop bets here, and the fun part is a lot of these are available over at PrizePicks, the new DFS app. Use promo code SGP, get that 100% deposit match up to $100. We're going to be doing some weekly PrizePick lineups during the season, and again, it's pretty easy. All you do is you over under on these different player stats, combine them. You can win up to 10x. The fun part is they have futures, NFL futures as well. So it's not just weekly. You can get down on some of these props that we've discussed through these division previews. You can combo up in PrizePicks. For instance, Tua Tagovailoa, 24.5 passing touchdowns under. Sam Darnold, 23.5 passing touchdowns. Ryan, I feel like we're both high on Darnold in that passing offense. Over on that guy, and then maybe you throw in what other quarterback passing props you like, Kramer? Oh,
Josh Allen, baby.
Josh Allen, and Josh Allen, 34.5 passing touchdowns, and then why not throw in a Dakota Rain under 32.5? I'm crunching the numbers here. A $20 bet on those 4 would net you $100.
Wow.
PrizePicks.com. Download the app. Promo code SGP. Instant deposit match up to $100. Let's go. Let's talk about the Jets.
Jet. All right, the Jets last year. Sean, remember?
I Google it every year. But Fireman Ed's still in retirement. The Jets brought him to a special lunch. Tried to coax him out of his retirement. Still said no. Brian, I'm going to give you a prop bet right now. Zach Wilson is so good. He gets Fireman Ed out of retirement.
Like it. 2-14 last year. Under 6.5. Wow, 6.5. That looked silly in hindsight. Well, it's over. The Adam Gase experiment ended.
How is he getting any sort of buzz? There was talk about the Eagles interviewing Adam Gase, and I just wouldn't accept even that idea into my head. I just completely banished it.
Some guys just are. Peyton Manning is getting this guy a job. That's how it's working. That just those years in Denver got Adam Gase 2 head coaching jobs. Sean, 2. The win total is 6 this year. -120 on the over, +100 on the under, +2,500 for the Jets to win the division. Which I don't feel like the Jets should be on the same level as the Texans. Maybe that seems unfair. Conference 75-1, Super Bowl 150-1. Make the playoffs +550. Miss -800.
You briefly had +800 here, Ryan,
which was incorrect.
Thought the books are giving us a gift.
I mean, this is all about the draft, signings, bringing in Corey Davis, drafting Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter,
and right off the top,
Vera Tucker, who I like, the lineman.
Oh, you think you should draft offensive lineman high?
Stop it, Sean. Stop it. They brought in Keelan Cole. They brought in some running back help. Tevin Coleman, who I think is the 1B or whatever they're saying. And you know, if it's a key departure, Sam Darnold, the version at least that we didn't like, the Adam Gase version, I don't know if it's a key loss. Brashard Perryman, I don't know if that's a key loss. So this team upgraded in a big way. The narrative, the coach, love the upgrade. The narrative around this team bouncing back after being one of the worst makes a lot more sense to me than the Jags case. More bullish on Robert Saleh based on what I've read, what other coaches have said about the guy, versus Urban Meyer. And even honestly, the way that I've watched Zach Wilson carry himself, like off the field, at the podium, compared to what Trevor Lawrence appears to be down there in Jacksonville. I like the fact that I have a piece of Zach Wilson Rookie of the Year.
There was a news story of Zach Wilson crying in practice.
That was we established that was fake. That was as fake.
Oh, it was.
That was as fake as the Adam Gase getting hired by a high school.
We did fall for an Onion-like news article in the office where we were like, "Oh, what?" Because we were trying to figure out what Adam Gase was up to, whether he was still in the league. But yeah, we said someone wrote up a fake article that got picked up by a lot of people. So kudos
got picked
to that
up by
guy.
a lot of people. As far as we can tell, he's not working.
No.
If anyone has the whereabouts,
if Adam, you're listening, we need content providers. I know it's going to be tough for you because auto fading Adam Gase was a nice little little fallback.
He might be someone's consultant. He might be lurking around a staff as a consultant. If anyone has that intel, let us know. That will go into the auto fade bucket immediately. I think this is one of those things where the Jets appear to be on the right path. I think some people will get excited a little bit too early. I don't think the defense is going to immediately become great. I don't think the offense is going to immediately become great, but it does seem like they have the pieces to be headed in that direction. So when you look at the fact that their schedule, one of the tougher schedules in this division, doesn't line up, doesn't exactly give them the best chance. I'm not super stoked to have to run out there and bet on this team to win 7 games. To me, that feels like a big jump, just like the Jags. Now, I'll be excited to watch it because our guy Joe Theismann telling us Zach Wilson is going to be a dude, and I think, of all the super mega long shots to win a division, This one I can sell myself on because both the Bills and the Dolphins pop their heads up and could regress. Like that's a very believable path that they could come back down because huge jump forward. The Patriots, who the fuck knows? They brought in a lot of people. We think Belichick can establish himself again, but Cam Newton and Mac Jones might not be that good. So of all like the 20 plus whatever odds to win a division, at least in this case, well, Zach Wilson comes in and is immediately just a guy who's really good. Robert Saleh is a extraordinary coach and has the defense humming from day one. And the offensive line looks like they could be really good. So am I saying you should go out and put a couple bucks on the Jets to win the division just in case? Maybe.
#Legends only.
Again, go through the list of the odds and some of these teams that are 20 plus 1, 20, 25, 30 to 1. I think we had one team. This is the only one
of division long shots. You're right.
This is the only one I can tell myself the story.
Jets, you can at least create the narrative, and the narrative starts with not having Adam Gase. We've seen the difference between not having Adam Gase and having Adam
Ryan
Gase.
Tannehill, check.
Ryan Tannehill, Devontae Parker, Robbie Anderson. Tannehill was 18-8 without Gase, 23-25, and you look at all the numbers, the efficiency, yards per attempt, whatever. This entire team is going to get a nice bump from not having Adam Gase. And on the defensive side, imagine going from Greg Williams to Robert Saleh. There's talent on this Jets defense. Now they did lose Carl Lawson, edge rusher. They brought in and paid, blew out his Achilles. That was a really tough blow. They brought in Sheldon Rankins to help with the pass rush. I'm high on Michael Carter. I'm high on Elijah Moore. Now, are they going to dominate? No, but I think they're young guys that can kind of somewhat outperform expectation a little bit and give them some mojo.
Yeah, I think my simulations have them winning the division in like 8% of them. So there's good value on 25 to 1.
Ryan raises his eyebrows when he says 8%.
I was trying to get to a place where it made sense.
Again, there's some just comical nuggets about the Jets last year. The leading scorer for the Jets was the kicker who played in 9 games. That's insane. And coming back to the defense, they were dead last in red zone and 30th in third down completion percentage over expected. So they're going to get better just by not having Greg Williams and those horrible defenses he called. I mean, we saw them lose that. That Hail Mary game to the Raiders. That was crazy. I think there's a version of that defense that can play physical. We saw what they did against the Rams. Like there were moments late in that season after Greg Williams was gone where you saw potential in the Jets. Yeah. And I think they truly hated Adam Gase and Greg Williams.
We love the mantra up there in Minnesota from PJ Fleck of row the boat. And sometimes just getting everyone on the same rhythm is enough to at least get the boat going in the right direction. So yeah, let's go through the schedule. I think I mentioned it, but the schedule, they do have the worst of the schedules in their division. All right. Jets week 1 at Carolina, New England at Denver, Tennessee. Can they beat the Patriots early in the season? Shock them?
This is tough.
Because at Denver is loss for sure.
And at Carolina, Darnold's going to be fired up.
Darnold revenge spot. He's not.
They made me know how to play him. I'm kind of leaning Panthers, but the number's getting too high. They win at least one of these. Can they surprise the Titans? Probably not. At Denver's tough. I'll say 1-3.
1-3. I honestly 1-3. All right. Next 4 at Atlanta in London. Man, they really gave the Brits some doozies of a game.
We're sorry, England.
Bye week afterwards at New England, Cincinnati at home, at Indy on Thursday night.
2-2.
Where are the 2 wins?
I think they get the Bengals at home. I think they'll be in the mix with the Falcons. I think their second game against the Patriots could be frisky, and I do think that defense could give Carson Wentz trouble.
Buffalo, Miami, both at home, at Houston, Philly at home. They get to they win.
It's another 2-2 at least.
They win one of their division games at home, probably Miami. I'll
Yeah,
say
2-2.
2-2.
They got 3 home games in there.
They beat Philly. New Orleans. Wow. Hopefully Hurts can play through that stomach bug. New Orleans at Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa at home. Lots of that's 6 home games in an 8-game stretch right there.
2-2. I don't know how they do it, but 2-2. I mean, the Jags at home.
I think they
Saints at home.
I think they beat the Saints for sure.
That is a sneaky game.
All right, 2-2. What did we do right now? I might have gotten too high on the Jets. And then we finished with Buffalo, and we said Buffalo was going to win that game.
Yeah. So what do I got them at?
We got them
7-10.
You're 7-10. I'm 6-11. I'll pass on this one, Sean.
Brian, for prop bets, I'm going to give out 2. 1, Michael Carter over 575.5 yards. It seems like it's just a matter of time before he's the starting running back. Robert Saleh, defensive minded guy with a rookie quarterback. Yeah. I think he's going to get at least, 150, maybe like 200 carries. I think is in the realm of possibilities for Michael Carter. So I think that is real fun. And I know you threw out the Jets to win the division, but I think the more realistic kind of interesting bet is Jets to get second place in the division plus 900. That is them beating out the Patriots and Dolphins. That's well, whatever. It's way less than 22-1 for a reason, but plus 900. That's a future bet I feel pretty good at. And again, they could get second place and not make the playoffs. Where yes, for them to make the playoffs is plus 550. I'd rather take Jets second place at plus 900.
That's fun. Zach Wilson over 13.5 interceptions.
Yeah. And again, that's a volume thing. That's this kid is not going anywhere thing.
Secondary one. What's your take on Elijah Moore at this point?
Again, it's early in these 3 preseason games. You're not seeing a ton of tape like you normally would. Teams seem to be a little bit more conservative playing their guys. I'm cautiously optimistic, and by all accounts, he's gelling with Zach Wilson. He's a fun guy to have in your best ball draft there. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think on the rookies, on both Elijah Moore and Michael Carter and Zach Wilson, like they could have a fun young core. And again, I'm not going to say they're going to dominate, but getting to 7 wins, I think would be a good year for this Jets team.
Because his reception total is at 57.5.
Yeah,
and that means he'd have to. That means like a game reception total of 3.5, and
somewhat realistic. Yeah,
it seems to me like I don't know if he's going to be on the field right away.
Yeah, he could be slow to develop.
And so I looked at that and I said, well, when he starts playing with this team, he's probably going to be like a 2.5 to 3.5 catch guy, maybe. And so I actually kind of like the under there, only because I think he gets started late.
Yeah, and they do have Corey Davis and Denzel Mims. Keelan Cole is really the guy that you would look to play the overs. And Denzel Mims might not make the team. There was a weird story about he lost 20 pounds because he ate some bad salmon that the Jets gave to him apparently in the cafeteria. So that's kind of a weird situation.
Pick Dundee was all over that. He's like, no, that's not salmon. He was eating ass. No way salmon makes you sick for 2 weeks, but ass.
Do we have a nominee for the Real Men of DGen?
TN presents.
Denzel Mims gangster as fuck.
Real Man of DGen.
Denzel Mims, poor guy.
Shit. All right,
Kramer. Let's talk about the beautiful game.
All right, the summer of soccer continues. On Paramount Plus, stream over 2,000 soccer matches a year from around the world. That's all the heart-pounding drama from CBS Sports, including UEFA Champions League, Europa League, Italy's Serie A, Argentina's Primera División, the Brasileiro, NWSL, the Asian Football Confederation, and the CONCACAF qualifiers, featuring the stars from the U.S. and Mexican men's national teams, plus much, much more. It's all the best of the beautiful game with all the beautiful names like Messi, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Rapinoe, and Pulisic. Be part of the excitement as champions are crowned and history is made. The world's game lives here on Paramount Plus. Visit ParamountPlus.com to start your free trial and stream every match live.
Joining us on the line, the original baby whale himself, the co-host of the Golf Gambling Podcast, Boston Capper. What's happening, Capper?
What's up, boys? I'm up here in North Carolina. It's beautiful. I'm at a wedding full of massholes and people from Jersey. So we're doing a bourbon tasting tonight and smoked a Monte Cristo already. It's been a good day, man.
That sounds dangerous.
It sounds like they're.
Baby fucking
I was gonna say
man.
maybe they're going on a fishing trip.
That is dangerous. Having a whiskey tasting with the cigar the night before the wedding. That could be trouble. Now you're hanging out with your fellow Patriots fans. What's the temperature in Patriot country on the upcoming season?
So if Mac Jones starts, we're going to be excited. But here's the deal: we know Cam's going to start up and through probably week 5 is going to be when we see Mac Jones. Bill Belichick doesn't want Brady to go up against Mac Jones. For whatever reason, he wants to see Cam Newton throw a paint can around and run for 2 yards in a cloud of dust. As a Patriots fan, it's fucking depressing, man. Like listen, you guys talked to me last year. I talked myself into Cam Newton. I was like, what a deal, $1 million. Belichick did it again.
Oh, there were so many hilarious Belichick narratives last year. They're like, they should investigate him. Him getting Cam Newton for $1 million. That's criminal. Meanwhile, the guy just completely fucking sucks. And then all those guys opt out and they're like, oh, next level thinking by Belichick. He's going to take the entire season and get Trevor Lawrence. This guy's a genius. Meanwhile, they're just 7-9. They get Mac Jones. Cam Newton completely sucks. The funniest thing is people reacting almost surprised that Cam Newton can't throw a football. I've been on this for 3-4 years. Look at his throwing motion. That is not how a professional athlete throws a football. 177 passing yards per game, and he doesn't come anywhere close to passing the eye test.
Is this? I do have a question though, because if you put a little bit of thought into it, it wouldn't take you very long to figure out that Deshaun Watson and Robert Kraft share interests, which means that maybe they've had a conversation before. Now, if they've had a conversation before, what better way? Rehab the image, come be the backup to Mac Jones for a year.
Yeah, I mean that would certainly be the dark horse destination. Is him ending up in New England,
and then Mac Jones gets the Jimmy G treatment and gets shipped out of town down to Miami to help Brian Flores and the family.
Bro, we've already had a murderer on the team. Okay, we're not bringing on Deshaun Watson. Right?
Okay.
Oh, come on!
The Krafts are very concerned with PR.
No, but one guy was
so concerned he spends every other Sunday at a jerk off place.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least Deshaun Watson's loaded gun is in his pants.
Now you alluded to Hernandez there. Unless there's more people killing people on the Patriots roster.
Didn't Dave Mega kill somebody too?
Well, he was a giant too, so we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, allegedly, and I don't even know if it's alleged because I'm gonna have to Google that.
By the way, did anyone else get chills looking at Marvin Harrison at the Hall of Fame induction of Peyton Manning? Think like, holy
that
shit,
guy. Well, it was interesting when we did the Hall of Fame, and shout out to people who corrected me. It is in Canton. My brain was fried.
What did you say?
I may have said Akron, but I thought we drove through. I don't know. Ohio kind of merges together, but it was interesting because you see Ray Lewis, OJ Simpson. You go through and see.
OJ was creepy to look at. He looked back. I go, Sean. OJ is looking back at me.
He said he was creepy. He said he was creeping you out. He was staring into your soul.
He was.
He had the mini afro. It was odd. But getting back to Hernandez and Gronk, that makes sense. Building your team around 12 personnel with Gronk and Hernandez. I don't think, and I kind of like Hunter Henry, but I don't think Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry are the next Gronk and Hernandez. It seems kind of crazy to go all in on free agency, especially this year, to pay Nelson Aguilar and Bourne a bunch of money. I don't get it.
Fine. Listen, I'm fine. Listen, I hated the wide receiver signings, right? I hated them. Like, there's way too much money for both of those guys, and it's definitely not going to be Gronk and Hernandez 2.0. But dude, we had fucking Ryan Izzo and Asi out there last year. There was less than 30 targets to the tight end. You can't operate a football team that way when you have Jacoby Myers as your fucking best receiver. Like it's impossible. Like it was the worst offense I can fucking remember since I was a kid in like the mid and early 90s where the Patriots were straight trash.
But I think a league average quarterback and that offense looks much better. To me, it's it's all on Cam Newton. And you as a Pats fan, you think they hold on to Cam Newton until the Brady game. Cause I think in a world where they sneak into the playoffs and Mac Jones is the starter for most of the year, aka McCorkle. And shame on me for going this far into the podcast and not saying McCorkle. But as soon as they get
shame
McCorkle
on you
in,
for betting on McCorkle to win the rookie of the year in the National Football League.
He's gonna win rookie of the year. Sean is 100%.
I like that angle because they got. You look at their offensive line rankings on Establish the Run. Again, promo code SGP 5% off. Fourth in offensive line, 14th in defensive line. A young quarterback that they draw up a simple plan for him using the 12 personnel. It could get you in an efficient offense, and Belichick throwing the kitchen sink defensive wise. You get Hightower back on defense. You could talk me into that, but this is all contingent on them putting McCorkle in. If they're going to pretend that Cam Newton is a starting quarterback in the National Football League, they're going to submarine their chances. And that's why it's hard to handicap their entire season.
No, dude, I 100% agree. It's a fucking nightmare as a Pats fan because Bob Kraft has come out and said, "Hey, 7-9 sucks. Like, what do? We never spend money on free agent day one. How much money did we give Aguilar? For God's sake, Aguilar, and he's supposed to be our deep threat now. Like, listen, I'm not singing the praises of the free agency moves. Like the guy on defense from the Ravens looks real good. I'm fine with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, but Hunter Henry's already hurt. So is Jonnu Smith. Henry's made of glass. Like, listen, I'm fine with it. But you're right. It's on Cam. I don't know why Bill is digging his heels in, other than Cam just kisses Bill's ass in every fucking press conference, so he can keep his job. Like, anybody is better. Did you hear the round of applause when Mac Jones ran on the field in preseason week 1? Patriots fans can't. I will fucking die watching Cam Newton for another goddamn season. It's terrible. It is the worst product, and our offense is terrible. Like, I just can't. It makes me so upset.
I'm sorry. Were you referring to Dollar Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is especially going from Tom Brady to Cam Newton. That is quite the rude awakening. I mean, any fan base to have to suffer through Cam Newton is tough, but coming from Tom Brady is that's a lot to ask.
I would agree.
Kramer, what's your pulse on the?
I just wanted to point out too. He's recycling Smoking Joe for left guard Joe Thuney. So I don't know if I appreciate that, but I did, spend the time and read down all the nicknames that Cam calls his teammates, and just think about what those guys probably feel like when Cam Newton rolls down the hallway. Which, by the way,
they all like him.
I know because he's a likable guy.
Right, but he's not a good fucking NFL quarterback.
Well, all right. So cue the X-Files music for a second, because I have a theory. What if they come out, they have a stable of running backs, lots of running backs. They all look good. Even Sony Michel looks pretty good in the preseason. The rookie Stevenson looks good. Damian Harris looks good. We know what James White is. What if they come out those first 4 games, specifically game 4 against Tom Brady, and they fucking go triple option with Cam Newton, and they just go full bore, a completely different offense, knowing that they're going to go to Mac Jones, like Capper says, week 5, and then week 5. And could you imagine? This is like a perfect Josh McDaniels wet dream, right? This is the man who drafted Tim Tebow. They unveil a completely different offense. I mean, again, I think the signings. Bro,
if this happens, I'm gonna hit you with a sock full of fucking nickels in Vegas.
I'll say this:
that would be so fucking gross.
They only have Cam Newton for a year. I think if
we had him only for a year last year.
That's true.
We brought him back.
Belichick. Look, I'm not super bullish on the Pats either. I think they're going to have a good defense, and I think they're going to run the ball really well. And I think they were 7-9 last year with that shit bag Cam Newton. And again, like, they weren't, as I pull up the numbers, Sean, they weren't that far off. Their total of 9.5, considering how bad it is. Like, when you remember the Patriots season last year, it was a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
7-9. So this year we're looking at 9.5. They went under, last year of 9. This year it's 9.5, plus 105 on the over, minus 125 on the under, plus 350 on the division, 18-1 to win the conference, 35-1 to win the Super Bowl. Again, similar to the Dolphins, they have the exact same future prices, and it just feels like it's a real stretch to get them all the way to that like Super Bowl conference championship level.
Oh, yeah.
Playoffs plus 110. That's a little bit more viable for me with Belichick at the helm and a good defense. Minus 140. They missed the playoffs. Obviously, we mentioned a lot of the additions, but it does seem like there's a strong probability they have a good defense this year. I can tell you this: his son, that guy seems like a fucking maniac, and I don't know how. I watched the preseason game, and this guy is just furiously spitting and showing off the side of his half-shaven head.
How does he have a hillbilly son? Was he just raised completely away from Belichick? What happened? Where did this
you think
guy?
Belichick had time to raise a kid?
No, he probably just.
Belichick was not raising that kid.
No.
This is the most obvious cry for daddy's attention. You became a football coach.
I learned it from you, Dad. The Patriots actually have they really got screwed by the schedule. TB12.
I don't think it's that bad.
Well, rest a disadvantage. It's pretty bad. It's -15. They're playing 3 teams coming off of Monday night. So I think they're.
Well,
yeah, but I feel like those are mostly home games.
The Football Outsiders. I think they once again have the easiest schedule. So
The Pats don't have they definitely don't have the easiest schedule. They don't have the easiest schedule in the AFC East.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm looking at that schedule note again. I don't know exactly what it is, but the rest disadvantage for them is bad.
The consensus is 19, so it's like kind of a soft schedule. We face like 5 playoff teams, not including the Bills, at home, and I feel like we only play like 2 other winning teams on the road. If it's only one. Like our road schedule's pretty easy.
Projected average opponent, according to the Football Outsiders, 32nd. So they see it as the easiest schedule in the league.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck Football Outsiders.
Okay. Well, I mean,
that's
Capper,
good for you. That means your schedule's easy.
No one's gonna mistake you for being a fucking nerd, Capper. Don't worry. Although your size might make it easier to fit in a locker. Ooh. All right. Let's hit this.
Bring it, son.
Let's hit the schedule, Sean.
Let's go.
Miami at home, at the New York Jets. New Orleans at home. Tampa at home on Sunday night against Tom Brady when he's going to break the all-time passing.
2-2. Ryan, 2-2. I think the Saints actually kind of a tough matchup for them. And I think they can take the Dolphins, probably the Jets on the road. Everyone will be, Cam Newton, he's our guy. And then they have to deal with reality.
2-2.
I'm going 2-2.
Capper?
3-1. We lose to Brady. The Jets and the Dolphins are still the Jets and the Dolphins. They suck. And it's a dome team coming up north with either Taysom Hill or Jameis as quarterback against Belichick's defense.
Yeah, but it's early in the season. It's not cold
I'm
weather.
with Capper. I'm going 3-1.
Yeah, it's 3-1.
3-1. Next 4 at Houston, Dallas at home, Jets at home.
Now
at
I'm
Chargers.
grading these games moving forward with McCorkle.
Okay, thank you.
Fine.
So
Fine,
McCorkle debuts
fair.
against Houston or Dallas?
Against, I mean, you normally want to debut them at home, but at Houston is probably
There'll be a lot of
decent spot.
What a soft landing place.
Yeah. I think you could talk me into 3-1, but I'll conservatively say 2-2.
I think McCorkle if he starts that week 1 against Houston, boy, do I love that with my Texans. I think I'm going 2-2 here.
Capper
2-2 as well. 2-2.
I like it. Capper's trying to temper his excitement for the team. At Carolina, Cleveland at home, at Atlanta on Thursday night, Tennessee at home.
1-3. This is going to be tough for him.
Really?
That's a tough stretch.
I think.
No.
I think this is.
Give it to me again. Carolina.
At Carolina, Cleveland at home, at Atlanta, Tennessee at home.
Atlanta's Thursday night too.
Yeah. Atlanta might not be that good though.
Atlanta's gonna suck.
Yeah, but it's a non-conference road game on a Thursday.
That is fair. That's fair. We're not talking about coverage, Sean. We're talking about winning.
No, I know, but I'm saying how many games of these 4 are they favored?
Sean's gonna love that home. I'm gonna go 2-2.
I'm 1-3. I don't think they're favored in any of these games.
I'm going conservatively 2-2. I think we could actually come out of there 3-1 and lose to Tennessee.
Yeah, Sean's really low on the Patriots for some reason. He likes.
I think they're going to close strong.
Shut out his team last night. Shut out with them. Shut out.
Well, people are in a time machine.
If you want, hey, hang on to these preseason brags,
Yeah.
Capper.
Oh, I will. I fucking absolutely will.
This
I will.
Hey, the undercash. That's all I care
this
about.
episode's getting put in a time.
Exactly.
This episode's getting put in a time machine for the future. So, all right, where are we at next? For at Buffalo on Monday night, bye week 14, nice and late for the Patriots. At Indy, coming out of the bye, then Buffalo and Jacksonville at home. They're not losing both games to Buffalo.
I want to go 3-1.
2-2.
And I'm gonna go 3-1. They beat the Jags, they beat the Colts, and they split with the Bills.
Yeah, I'm with Sean. This is ridiculous. There's going to be so many wins attached to my name after going through the schedule, and I have no faith in it actually happening.
3-1. You guys are going.
Yeah,
I'm going 3-1. Yep.
And the bonus game, they're getting the Dolphins at Miami. We all have. Well, Sean, you and I have this as a loss. Capper, do they get it?
Loss. Absolutely. We always lose in December when we go to Miami. Always.
yeah.
Loss. Absolute loss. That.
I feel like all right. I need to. I'm going to bump them up to 3-1 when you guys made them 3-1 that last quadrant.
What do you got them at now?
10-7.
10-7. Okay, and I got them what? 8-9.
Yeah.
All right, 8-9 sounds about right for this Patriots team.
What do I have? What do I have, Matt?
8-9. You think so?
Me?
No way.
No, I mean I think they'll be.
Capper, we got them 10-7. It's not
We
good.
both have them 10.
It's not good that I'm.
That sounds right.
It's just going to be a lot of work to get them to that over.
Should I go back to the push?
No, I mean it all depends on Cam Newton. Cam Newton is not a winning quarterback.
No, he sucks balls.
I think the defense.
So bad.
I think defense and running game will be good enough to win a nice chunk of games on this schedule.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that road schedule is easy. All the tough teams we face are at home. Like I know Gillette has like kind of a soft crowd, but like everybody's fucking super angry now. So maybe it'll go back to like old school Fenway. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's not like the business people up there like who don't give a shit and just want to sit in nice seats and be goddamn quiet. Like maybe it'll be like old school Fenway.
Oh wow!
Like that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's best case scenario. Pat's prop bets. Jacoby Myers. I'm going to say over on his reception 67.5. It's actually tough to find a lot of these prop bets because all the skill position guys are hurt and they won't post anything on Cam or Mac. Am I crazy on Myers? He seems like what is he going to be the number one receiver, or is it going to be Aguilar?
That's so gross. Like, why are you being mean? Like, is he going to be the number one receiver? Think about what you just asked me. Somebody named Jacoby Myers is going to be my number one receiver. You're a dick. Yeah, dude, he is. He's gonna be like Aguilar has. Like he's dropping passes in training. I'm like, come on, man. And Kendrick Bourne, like he was a fine little like.
I like him.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's not Julian Edelman. And N'Keal Harry's a goddamn bust. He's gonna get cut. Great job on that, Bill. Fucking the only miss in the first round from that draft, and for a wide receiver. And yes, he's gonna. I call him Stonehand Myers. Like he's not great, but he's the best we got, which is sad.
Wow.
The only problem with the 67 is we're such a run first team. And if somehow Cam keeps the job for longer than that, there's not going to be enough attempts to get that guy 60 catches.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, when you're throwing the ball 15 times a game, it's going to, maybe I'll stick with it, but I don't really love any of the prop bets on the Pats. Kramer, what's your prop bet?
I mean, there's two that are interesting. One, the prop for the Patriots to win over 2.5 division games. I'm seeing
that's awesome.
I'm seeing that at -135, and to me that they could sweep the Jets and split with the other team. There's a lot of ways to get there. Now I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean you could also play it over 3.5 at +175.
I like that one better.
You like that better? So
I like that better.
To me, it's like I want to play Belichick versus but you know he does well against his disciples, but I don't think he's getting swept by Buffalo. It's hard to see him getting swept by anyone. So for the path to getting under 3 seems hard. And like Capper says, we juice it up. We go over 3.5 +175.
I like that. I like that better.
Capper, what do you do? What do you got? Pats, what are we looking at?
All right, so I put 2 of these in my New England Patriots preview article that'll be coming out tomorrow. So make sure to go click and read because your boy can write too. So I'll give you.
Right.
So I'll stick with. So you went over on Myers receptions. I went under 575.5 receiving yards on Hunter Henry. Right. So if we're such a run first offense and Cam is in there for 5 fucking games, it's not just Hunter Henry who's going to run out, who's a better blocker than Jonnu Smith. So he's going to be asked to stay in and block more. Jonnu's going to go out and run more. We didn't just give all this money to these wide receivers not to throw it to them. We got James White, 575.5 yards. I feel like that's heavy. Never mind his injury history. He's already hurt. So I think under 575.5 for Hunter Henry is a great bet. I love that.
Yeah, no, I was kind of high on Hunter Henry.
What happened? That's your guy, Sean.
Just because I thought he was going to be the guy between him and Jonnu, but man, I don't know. The early injury in preseason scares me off him. I thought I had a little angle there, but yeah, Capper laid out a good. The early injury, you gotta back down on the Hunter Henry take.
Yeah, you have to.
Pat's to finish second in the division at plus 200 is pretty interesting too.
That's not bad because the Dolphins are going to suck. Two is straight trash. And I know I can't talk shit about anybody else's quarterback because I have Cam, but 2 is fucking straight trash. The Jets are going to ruin whatever quarterback they get because they're the Jets. So Zach Wilson's ruined. Like, it doesn't matter how good the kid would have been. Like, he went to the Jets organization, he's done. So I'm not worried about it at all.
Sean, who do you have finishing second?
Well, I like now technically I did give out Dolphins and Pats at 8 and 9, but I like taking the Jets to get in second at plus 900, even though I got them 7 and 10.
Okay.
I like that.
I'll
bet
take
better.
your action. Sean, I'll take the action. Don't even bother giving it to a bookie.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
We'll talk in Vegas.
No limit.
All right.
No. Wow.
Master P over here.
The size of the balls on this man.
Capper, we will be, if you're going to be out in Vegas week 1, say what's up to us. Capper will also be out there. Capper making his first trip to Las Vegas, breaking the Vegas cherry. That I was kind of surprised he'd never been out there.
So you got to think about it, right? I was in the military and I was a firefighter. I wasn't making anything for fucking money. I got a bazillion goddamn kids.
It's true. Vegas is not a good place to take kids. If you have kids, don't take them to Vegas. No offense, Ryan.
No, I completely agree.
It's like I have a senior in high school and one starting in kindergarten at this point. So now I finally get some babysitting. I can arrange some stuff and I can go.
Oh, nice. party at Capper's house when the parents are in Vegas.
I know.
Senior year, that's the wheelhouse.
My parents went to.
I got a long enough story with that, dude. I borrowed my daughter's car because I told Kramer the other day I had to get a new motor in my car, right? And so I go into my daughter's car and I go to plug my charger in. There's a grinder and fucking some empty bags of weed. I'm like,
oh no,
what the fuck? I'm like, come on, babe. I'm like, so I walk in. I'm like, hey, do you want to talk about why you're stupid? She's like, what? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you know what I mean. And I was like, I just borrowed your car. She goes, yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, listen. I was like, what the fuck, man? You get yanked. Like, you're gonna get arrested.
Yeah,
like,
you get pulled over with that. Bad times.
Yeah, you get. I was like, it's in your glove compartment. I was like, at least make a better effort to hide it. Like, for Christ's sake.
The trunk. They need a warrant.
This new generation is so lazy.
It's
so lazy.
It's weed hiding 101. Put it in the trunk. No, they can't search the car. All right, Capper.
Exactly. My daughters know that.
We'll see you in Vegas in a couple of weeks. Kramer, let's locking up our division bets here. Of course, brought to you by UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN for $25 free play. You can do 5 puppies, 1 Best Ball Mania 2, or put it towards the big dog tournament. For me, man. This division is hard, but of course I'm going to lock up the Dolphins under. That one feels very good. And I like the Bills over, even though it's super high at 11, but give me the Bills to win the division at minus 150. That is cush right there. Kramer, what are your locks on the division bets?
I'm right on, I really got to tally up all the wins. I feel like I've given out a couple.
You're like many, Colby over here. So many
wins. I think you just go with the Bills to win the division.
Okay,
that feels like a lock. And then, it's hard. It's hard to see. I'll take the over on the Patriots. Actually.
Okay. Wow.
I'll take the over on the Patriots.
All right. Book it, Capper. Any other division bets you want to throw out there?
No, I like the Pats to make the playoffs at plus 110. Like, I mean, there's no way Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it does feel like
Belichick's ego. I mean, Brady just walked out of the door, fucking won a Super Bowl, literally took a shit in Bill's face, and there's no way he's gonna go with Cam Newton for fucking 17 games. He'll bring in the kid, and we're gonna make the playoffs. I mean, the AFC East is still a fucking cake division. The AFC is kind of weak, so
hear that,
I mean,
Bills Mafia.
Yeah, fuck the Bills, by the way. Are you serious? All these fans, they make it to one AFC championship game, and they think they have this dynasty on their hands. They're going to be like the Colts of the year, hanging up AFC finalist banners. Like, all right, guys, pump your brakes. Like, you made it to not even the show. You made it to the bridesmaid show one time in the last, 30 fucking years? Fucking take a breath. Take a breath.
Take a breath. Breathe, Bills fans.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Make sure you check out Boston Capper on Twitter, Boston_Capper, and check him out on the co-host of the Golf Gambling Podcast, wherever great podcasts are downloaded. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he is Ryan.
Oh, we're almost there, Sean. Almost there.
Kramer. Let it ride.